Hello everybody, welcome back. Another video here today. If you're tuning in with us for the first time, my name is Dylan, Space Cadet Crypto here. So we're going to be looking at our Bitcoin miners today. Just not really a lot of action going on today, more sideways trading, but we are very close to a critical point in a lot of these miners. Why don't we take a look? Let's start with Mara here first. And here for Marathon, we did have the symmetrical triangle, which did break out, but we did have a fake out. Remember, with fake outs, when they do break to the upside and they are fake outs, they break down very extremely. So we saw this huge volatile move here from the high of 54.20 down here to almost around $29. So a crazy move to the downside. But let's take a look here at what's exactly going on. These past couple of days, we did see some volatility yesterday and today. But overall, they kind of moved and they canceled each other out. So not too much price action going on. That's very volatile right here. We've just been seeing a massive move to the downside here. We did find support here at this $33 mark. We try to trace up to this fib tracement level at the $35 mark, quickly got rejected. And then we ultimately came down and retested this, let's see here, this ascending support line that was having some touches here. We found some bounces there. We also found a bounce down here and then a little bit down here below. But what's been happening is we did find support here and we tried to come back up into this channel, because if you can see here, these channels that are ascending right here was where the Mara price has been trading recently. So we mostly had trading going along in this channel right here towards the middle of the price action, until we did find some areas where we did peak out into these upper channels here and here, but ultimately we could not hold that price action and we dumped back down into these lower channels, which we haven't had any price action in since the beginning of January right here. So we had a big move to the downside, and if we zoom in, we actually have been consolidating. We did create a head and shoulders pattern here, a slight one, and once we did break this neckline, we did move to the upside, and we did find a lot of resistance right here at this $37.90 area, which is a resistance box. So we've seen price get rejected here, and in a quick move to the downside, same thing, rejected from this top one, quick move to this downside, found a support, and then ultimately breaking through, making another move to the downside. So this area is very important. This $39 to $37 area is very important to keep as support, but right now it is still acting as resistance. We tried making our way back up into here, but we could not have the price action go that far in, so we ended up getting rejected, and it was a quick rejection today. And also that has to do with Bitcoin, how it did drop significantly the night before, and so a lot of people got scared, and perfect time for manipulation also in the market too. So we did see a quick back move to the downside here, kind of hanging on to this ascending pattern here, this ascending channel that we're trying to hold on to, but it looks like we are breaking to the downside. This is only one 4-hourly candle. We do need a couple 4-hourly candles, or this is the 1-hourly candle, but we need a couple of them or 4-hourly candles to be sure exactly if we're going to be breaking back to the upside or finding a support down here in this lower region of the $32 mark. But for the past week, we've actually just been consolidating between these two channels, between the 35 to 33% or $33 mark, and also here between the 33 to $31 mark here in our lower levels. So we are breaking back into this level, so we could find support back here at the $33.30 mark for Mara, and then ultimately come back up to retest this descending resistance and also this resistance box here at the $37 mark. Once we create this as support, I see us retesting this area right here at the $43 mark, which is another area of great resistance. If we take a look at the EMA ribbon here on the hourly, we see that we're just kind of floating in between. If we look at the 4-hourly, we are still finding a bunch of resistance here. This is where we found our resistance. Along with the resistance box, we find our EMA curling downwards, putting that negative momentum on the price action, pushing us down further. But I do see the price target if we continue to go to the downside. If Bitcoin cannot rally back up to its $55,000 area, we can see Mara going back down to 33.30 and ultimately 32.38. And if we do break this area, I see us coming back down here to this $29 region where we found a bunch of support here, 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 and here. So that is what's looking like for Mara. If we do find a rally with Bitcoin, we could see our potential $43 price target for Mara after this $38.90 mark as a retest to go to the upside. But it is still looking bullish. We did also reset our RSI with that dump today. We do have our RSI now floating in the middle, not oversold or overbought, so it's looking good. And we did have quite a bit of rejection here. We have this big strong sell volume candle. So our volume is still descending, so we see a potential great move coming up if we can break back up from this symmetrical triangle and find our way up to here. First price target would be at the $39 mark, then the 43, ultimately coming back up and testing this $49 region, which was a previous local high here in this area. But that's what it's looking like for Mara. Why don't we take a look at RIOT now? If you do want to keep updated with these price action videos, remember to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm doing these videos daily. This is my second video for today. I'm trying to crank out 2 or 3 every day because I want to talk about a bunch of different opportunities to make money, not just crypto stocks, but also altcoins. I just posted a Chili's altcoin video with a massive move potential happening very soon. A lot of the altcoins have massive move happening very soon, but let's take a look at RIOT here. We do have this descending wedge pattern that's been playing out for the last couple months. We do find here some resistance in this area, kind of near our $45 mark, and then we find a quick rejection to the downside, but we're still actually finding support here on this support area. So that is a very good thing to see here. If let's zoom in a little bit more. All right, so our price action was wavering in this area, and I said we could probably do a potential double bottom area here where we have a lower low and then we have a regular higher low here, and then we could ultimately move up to this price target at around $49.63. So that is also in the cards for RIOT, as we did find support here on this lower support line right here, and then we move to the upside. Let's look at some higher time frames at the 4 hourly, and yep, that's where we found our resistance at the EMA ribbon here. We found our moving averages pushing down the price, and ultimately it got stopped right here in this area, and we found a wick up here, and then we potentially got pushed back down, and now we're just trading in this region. It is very vital that we hold this golden pocket area so we can push up towards the upside here, towards this $45.76 region, and then ultimately our next region at the $48, and then retesting this resistance, this descending resistance at $49.31. So that is what it's looking for RIOT. We're still not oversold nor overbought, a little bit oversold, and our volume is also decreasing for this too. So a lot of these miners are having the kind of the same setup. They are still in their patterns, consolidating, moving sideways, because Bitcoin is doing the exact same thing. It is moving sideways, but I still do see this potential double bottom playing out. We have our W here. We can ultimately test the bottom of this golden pocket at $38.64 and then make our way up here. Once we break this neckline at around $44, $45, we can then rally up and make our way to this $49.40 region. But remember, once we do confirm this breakout, this falling wedge pattern, we can come back down, retest this area right here at this fib retrace at the 0.5 fib level with $48.06 for the price, and then make a massive move. And remember, the massive move is the price target of the top of the wedge, which is at $79.46 mark. So that is very exciting for RIOT. Let's look here at the daily as well. Let's see, printing our first couple green candles here in the last couple days, so it's still looking good. We also found resistance here, the EMA curving down, just starting to turn bearish, but if we do find quick price movement to the upside, we can continually flip this EMA bullish. And if we look at the other moving averages here, we are also just finding a bunch of resistance here in this area. We'll go back to the 4 hourly. We are finding support here. The 200 moving average is curling up here and providing that support that is needed for this golden pocket area here. So I do not see the price going down any further, but if it does manage to break this 200-day moving average, then we are going to come back here to the price target of $31.95. So it's a pretty steep drop here, but that is what it's looking like for RIOT. And then finally, let's take a look at SOS. Remember, if you want to stay updated with SOS, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. But let's jump right in here and let's look. Oh, just another. Let me just erase some of these drawings here from the last video. Okay, so SOS has not been doing much very lately. It has still just been consolidating in this very tight area between $4.18 and $4.45 or $4.48. Not too much crazy price action going on here, but we are trading between these two fib levels at the 0.382 and the 0.2386 or 0.2386. And it's very tight consolidation in this pattern. We did confirm this descending resistance as support right here, but we haven't been having that explosive movement. And the reason because is this low volume. We have very low volume in this area, as you can see, compared to maybe this breakout right here where we had a huge increase to the upside, but nothing too crazy with the volume just yet. The market makers are still kind of in decision mode for placing some longs here just yet. They have to fill out the market. And remember, Bitcoin is still trading sideways, so a lot of these miners are trading within very key levels, but they are still trading sideways, not having huge momentum to the upside or downside. And if they do, they quickly reverse it back in the other way. So this is just an area of consolidation here, but I do see major resistance at this $5.24 region where the golden pocket is. If I were to make a fib retracement level from the high, swing high here to the swing low, we find the fib level here at $5.20. Now let's take a look at our EMA ribbon. This is the 4-hour chart, and we are exactly how we see here, finding a bunch of resistance in this EMA ribbon right here. Boom, wick to the upside, rejected. Wick to upside, rejected, rejected. Same here, we're just holding on to this EMA ribbon, but we're not showing any price strength to go into it and reclaim any of these fib levels right here. They're all just being taken up by this EMA ribbon. So we're not gonna see a lot of price action happening just yet for SOS unless Bitcoin starts to rally and make that huge move to the upside like we've all been waiting for. The RSI is still not oversold or overbought. That is a good thing. It shows us we have more room to go to the upside if we can find that price strength to go to the upside, that momentum. But as of right now, we are looking at the 6-hour, same thing. The EMA ribbon is still cross bearish here in this area. It flipped over. Now it's just acting as residual right here, residual resistance that just is going down here, following the price down, pushing it down. If you look on the daily, we just flipped bearish right here, and it's also aligning with our price here at the resistance level at that $4.80 level. But it is still looking bullish for SOS. We just haven't had those critical drops. If we were to drop down, our next price target would be right around here at the $3.50 area, and then next would be our $3.30 area, and then finally our $2.20 area, but I do not think it's going to go down that low. We are still looking at price targets at the $5.26 mark. If we can reclaim this area, which has been huge resistance, this golden pocket resistance, it has been EMA resistance, it has been just general resistance, finding support here, here, and here until we broke to the downside and we saw that big move. Once we broke down this $5.20 support, we made a massive move down to the $4.23 support. So a negative 20% move right here. And then we find a giant move back to the upside, trying to reclaim that. But ultimately, as you can see here, these three candles, these three green candles could not find that support right here. They tried to find support, boom, broke right down here to our lower fib levels. So SOS is still in crossroads, just like how BTC is. It is still, it technically did break out, but we also did not have any volume coming in here too. Remember, when you want to look at a breakout, you want to see the breakout right out of the pattern. You want to see the candlesticks close outside the pattern, couple 4-hourly candles, maybe some 6-hourly candles, and then you want to see huge volume, just like this wick right here, and also this wick right here. These wicks right here, these are good areas where you see that a breakout did happen, where we're seeing a tremendous amount of volume come in for buying SOS, but we haven't seen that just yet. Look, it's just descending in this area. It's still descending. So we are going to see a massive move again where we see a huge wick to the upside, but as of right now, it has not happened just yet. But we could see potential volatility next week. It's the beginning of May, and we do see always in the beginnings of the month, we see the most volatility. Because let's take a look at BTC one more time. Right here at the low, we were at the 28th of February. That was the end of the month for February. What about this low right here? We also saw the 25th of March, 26th of March. So the lows are always towards the end of the month. And then right here, 25th of April. So around the 25th, the 28th, the end of the month, we always see a lot of downside for Bitcoin. We saw a huge move to the downside, huge move to the downside. another just the biggest move to the downside here since we had that correction of 30% back here in January. But we always see that futures expirations always plays a role in the price action for Bitcoin, and this month is the same exact thing. We did have a more of a recovery, but we're still stagnating between that $54,000 to $55,000 mark. And remember, once we break that 55,500 level, we can make a straight shot here to 57,000. That's not out of the cards just yet, but these miners are going to be following Bitcoin to the T, sometimes more exaggerated, right? If Bitcoin moves 1 or 2%, these miners can move 5 to 10% in both directions. So in conclusion, MARA, RIOT, and SOS all are trading at key levels. Not so much volume is coming in as of right now because everyone is waiting on Bitcoin. But once Bitcoin starts to rally again, these miners are gonna rally hard just like they did before. They can make 20-30% moves in just one day. So be on the lookout for that. Look at the price targets I set for shorting and longing. Yet again, not financial advisor, but if you appreciate these videos, hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and follow me for more videos and updates. But that is it for today. Thank you for watching. Peace out.